This, of course, is making SK City. And let's get right into game number 1. It's going to be Fear the Queen versus SPX. It's going to be pretty awesome. Let's do this. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, in the top right, left, as your red Zerg, it's going to be flying, also known as Fear the Queen. And in the bottom right, as your purple Terran, it's going to be SPX from IFU. So this is going to be a pretty good day at Brood War, hopefully. Having to do some emergency casting, but let's do it for the love of the game, so everything is all well. Let me know if the stream does work or doesn't work. I actually have no idea. Seems like it's working. The stat menu. Oh, that's a good idea. You know, that'd be great if I actually remember the hotkey. Alrighty, so of course, both players are going to be on cross-spawn. It's going to be TBZ on Fighting Spirit, so we should be looking for at least a couple, I would say a long game. Not that long, since this is foreign Brood War, so we can't really say how things are going to go. But at the very least, we can expect some exciting news. Well, I like this from flying, though. He's going to glitch his larva over to the left side. He's taking advantage of the hatchery glitching. Looks like it's just going to be a 12 pool here from him. Meanwhile, FPX is going to get his barracks up. Nothing out of the ordinary from either players here. Oh, well, you can't see the names? Oh, bummer. Alright, it is FPX versus flying. So actually what I'm going to do is just remove the overlay. That way you guys can actually see what's happening. Actually now coming down for flying as well. Spawning pool should be coming down just shortly right now. There it is. Though, interesting enough though, we're seeing flying actually not scout with a drone this early on. Normally when you go for like a 12 hatchery, you're going to send a drone immediately out as well. FPS of course doing the normal Terran scouting, going for the double SUV scout. All is well. And flying, actually going to go for the cross scout maybe. No, he's just checking the middle of the map to see just in case there was any proxy barracks, which would be a huge detriment to his game plan. Now next hatchery coming down here, we should expect to see the gas geyser get taken. Make the extractor. Hatchery now down 4, flying. Meanwhile, we're going to get the command center up pretty early for XPX. He's actually going to get it before he gets his second supply depot. So knowing that his opponent went for the 12 hatch, he can do it safely. Oh, never mind. The second supply depot was already built. That's fine. Extraction coming down. Woo! It's a great day of Brood War, great day on Fighting Spirit. Absolutely nothing weird is happening. Here comes the drone, though. It's going to run it into its death. Into the natural. That Marine will catch it. And XPX is doing a good job so far. He's actually going to build a supply depot to help start to build a soft wall here. I'm wondering if he's going to put a bunker right there. Or he's just going to use his Marines to line up the gap in between. Very early creep comedy coming out here from flying. That could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Meanwhile, his layers, of course, starting up for himself. So that's all good. Going to get those mutas out in due time. So we're going to see the engineer bay about to be completed here, and then the academy. So we're going to see SPX go for the 4 racks plus 1, or it could be the 5 racks plus 1. Either way, he's going to have a very strong mid-game army. A lot of Marines, a lot of medics. They really help him try to punish flying potential early third. So we're going to changing the SCV in the middle of the map here. XPS really trying to find out if there is a third. Layer's about to be completed. What will the tech building be? Where's the spire? Spire? Ah, there's the spire. Spire now coming down here for flying. Meanwhile, this SCV is still doing a good job of being alive. Both players really just macroing up here. Academy about to be completed. So here's the thing to know is how many barracks will SPX get off of this? Looks like you're gonna get 3 right now. You could definitely add at least 1 more before. Normally you would go for 4. Sometimes you can go for 5 if you want to commit that heavily. But I do like this. SPX is gonna try to move out a little bit early here, just to apply some map. Then he decides to just run back. Man, what a bummer. What a bummer. First medic now out. Actually healing up the SCV that was being harassed by the Zergling out here. You know, both players just playing, you know, quite passively. Normally, that's fine. Not much else going on here. We're seeing an early factory though, actually. This is interesting. Normally, you would see the 4th barracks come out before the factory, so it looks like XPS wants to go for very fast vessels with the +1. That's a possibility, but then you might have just run for the 2-racked ACAT instead. XPX moving his Marines inside his main base just for the eventual mutas that are going to pop out. Very early Queen's Net coming out here from flying. Got the mutas spawning right now. And a 3rd base actually taken very close nearby for flying. We could actually see Guardians this game, now I'm thinking about it. Early Queen's Nest, close 3rd. The mutas starting to come in right now. And XPS doesn't have any turrets. You only have 2 turrets at his natural. He's starting to get them quite way too late. 15 seconds too early, actually. And these mutas are going to come in and punish it right now. Oh, snap. Flying's going to back a little bit, see if you can enter into another wave. There are 2 more turrets here to deter these mutas. Flying continue to poke around here. More mutas are starting to join the fray. Let's see if they look ready to natural. There's 3 turrets here now. Ooh, nice snipe there. Gonna delay that 3rd turret coming up a little bit. Where are the Marines though? The vessel's already starting to get on display here. We're gonna have to start port already adding the control tower and the science facility coming up as well. This is just very early vessel timing, given the fact he actually went for the very early +1 as well. But the thing is, XPX is not really punishing this 3rd. He has an SCV that's been sitting there for the last couple minutes trying to see what he can get out of it. Meanwhile, Flying doing a nice job diving in once more, going to get 1 turret sniped before backing off here. This is really just keeping XPX back in his own main base. XPX can't really move out, even though I think he has the enough Marines and medics to go and actually try to fight Flying in the middle of the map. To me, it looks like XPX is being way too passive here. Flying doing some nice muta harassment here, sniping a lot of SCVs. Oh, if you can get this tank though, it's going to be a big kill. Nice kill by Flying though. Going to get that tank. Going to completely delay XPS possible push for a very long time. Going to have to wait for another tank to be built, or even 2 more. Meanwhile, these mutas are just wrecking havoc here. Flying does have a considerable bank built up. You can see he might just actually be saving up for Guardians. And he actually is going to morph his Spire into the Greatest Spire, so like we expected, there will be Guardians in this game. A very nice tech choice to go for, knowing that SPX has been playing quite passive, has not been really taking advantage of anything on the map. 3rd's been easily developed for himself, going to have 2 Sunkens there to help defend against the ramp. No other tech units, so we're going to see where Flying is going to want to morph it. It looks like XP is going to finally have enough of it. He's going to move out. Oh, this vessel, no, it's gonna get sniped! No! XPX, no! He's lost that vessel. That was a huge loss for him. Now, Flying's just gonna take the initiative, start to morph his units into the Guardians, but here's the thing, though. This is actually a pretty scary push coming out from XPX. The 2 tanks, but his army control is just pretty lackluster. He's separating his units way too spread out. Meanwhile, Flying trying to do whatever he can with these Zerglings. And here come the Guardians. They're morphing right now. This is gonna be pretty dangerous though, because if Flying notices that, XPX notices that Flying has no lurkers, no other tech besides the Guardians, he will be hard pressed to actually push into anything. The Guardians are now completed for Flying. When does he want to push in right now? But here comes the push from XPX, gonna work his way to the 3rd. Some Zerglings being sent to die. Just a little bit. Where's the vessel though? Has the new vessel not been made? But here's the problem though. The Guardians are working their way into the natural. Oh, there's a nice Wraith though to counteract it. But it's only one Wraith for the time being. Meanwhile, XPX starting to siege up the natural. But here comes some even more Guardians. Will XPX dive into all these Sunkens to try to take the Guardians out? Nice target firing by him though. Gonna get one Guardian out, but here comes the more Zerglings. And this is a really bad game for XPX. He's unable to push across the bridge here. Can't do anything against the Guardian. He has no vessels, nothing to deal with it. I think, yeah, Flying should just take this game number 1 quite handily. The Guardian started to make his way into the main base, and he's even taking a 4th behind this, so going to get that 4th gas up pretty soon. No other tech though. He's just been really relying on these Guardians as his main source of tech, dumping all of his gas into the mutas. But of course, the race with Cloak Count. This is a good way to counteract these Guardians. But first, he needs to get rid of that couple Overlords there. XPX trying to do especially try to reclaim his natural. The 4th will get taken down by his last group of Marines and Medics. But, you know, for Flying doesn't really care that much at this point in the game. He knows he delayed at Terra Natural quite a lot. He did a lot of economical damage. You know, XPX economy is in shambles. Most importantly, doesn't have any gas, so he needs that 2nd gas to get it back up. We're finally going to see another vessel being produced after all this time. More Zerglings routing the way across the map here. No upgrades though. This could be a bit problematic. You know, XPX could actually find his way to get back into this game, knowing if Flying doesn't go for any upgrades, nor any other tech. A new fort base being constructed after 9 o'clock. No, this is actually pretty reminiscent of Hio when I'm looking at this Wraith composition, combined with the Marines and Medics. Hio does this sometimes on his louder streams. But 1-1 for the Marines and Medics, though, that's going to be pretty good. Adding a couple of fire bats as well. Knowing that Flying's really quite reliant on the Zerglings. Looks like a scan was actually done here, so XPX will actually get this 4th canceled once again. So Flying's not going to have a 4th, but he could go for a nice counterattack. What does XPX have at his natural here? That might be enough, I think, to hold this group of Zerglings. That firebat's going to have to do a lot of work. And the 4th will get cancelled. Here's the important thing, though. XPX needs to protect his vessel. He needs to keep this vessel as long as possible. Try to irradiate all these... Oh man, that's a lot of Guardians and Scourges. This could get a bit problematic here. But here comes the Wraiths, though, coming in. Here comes the charge in from XPX. Gonna charge his way across the bridge here. A lot of Marines and doing the DPS. D-Matrix onto a fire bat. Had no way to get into the battle here. Finally, that fire bat start taking the damage for the Tunkins. And Flying has nothing to deal with it. He's been way too reliant on the Guardians, but have been ineffective at this point in the game. And now XPX is going to charge into this way open natural here. Everything is just melting. And surprisingly enough, XPX managed to take his game back. Flying has no other tech units. You know, Guardian's kind of like a one-trick pony. You gotta transition back to Defilers or Lurkers if you want to stay alive. Oh, look at this though. All these Guardians working their way back into this. But you know, XPX has to be pretty happy with that exchange. He got the Zerg natural. The Zerg's not only down to 2 gases. This is being quite annoying. But he still needs to figure out a way to deal with these Guardians. 2 Wraiths are still being alive here. Being quite a nuance. 7 kills across both of them. Oh, 1 Scourge hit will land. Can you get more Scourge hits? Oh, nice Scourge hits on there. Going to get both the 2 Wraiths down. 1 more Wraith to live. And finally, we do see the Defiler come out for flying, but it's quite late actually. The 4th being re-established for flying, but I think XPX knows about this, seeing that he's sending a lot of his units across the map to the top right of the map here. No 3rd base yet, but XPX could start to take it right now. I wonder if he has a command center built anywhere. And the answer will be no. But he's going to clear out his 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, he's going to push him to this top right. Going to deny flying a 4th base once again. Bullets will go down. There's all these Guardians here to try to counteract it, but they're very quite slow. Too slow to protect their own fort. And of course the Vessel now starting to play here. The Irradiate's onto the Guardians. Going to do quite a lot of damage. It should outright kill them actually. Ooh. Oh, what a bugged out Scourge AI there. Not able to land any of themselves onto the Vessels. Flying got a little bit unlucky there. 3rd now coming up for XPX. Just not a comeback game for Flying. Flying needs to find out a way to get himself back into this game. We have not seen Defilers be quite useful here. He has enough for 1 Darksworn. I wonder if he has Plague. Oh, here comes actually a couple more Defilers. Going to Plague the Darksworn up the ramp. They're going to Darksworn himself into the 3rd here, but it's not enough. 3rd doesn't really do much. But they will delay the 3rd for the time being, so that is something. But there's not many Zerg units though. Where's Flying's units? Oh man. The main army of XPX once again going to work its way into the left side of the map here. Flying finally has some ultras, but it's only going to be 1/1 ultra. These are quite weak ultras. The XPX doing a great job of just denying Flying's fort each and every time. Here comes the big engagement though. Zerg unit charging up the ramp here. Nice Darksworn on top of the ramp. But there's an Irradiate onto the ultra. It's going to help soften it up. Meanwhile, the Vessel doing a great job of irradiating the other ultras. XPX doing a pretty good micro as well. Delaying the ultras and getting up the ramp. Now she's going to start to run away here. So that 1 ultra is pretty weakened. XPX could try to target it down if he wants to. Or he can just die. He could just die. The 3rd of XPX going to try to once again get back here. Meanwhile, it's actually double expanding to a 4th, knowing that Flying has no way to really pressure him, as his own economy is in shambles. A little bit more of an engaged skirmish here outside the 3rd of XPX. 3 Guardians, 3 Zerglings. A lot of medics. Oh, I like this though from XPX. XPX is going to use the 2 medics to block the ramp here, so they can just heal each other up for a very long time. But here comes the Vessels though. It's going to irradiate up the ultras, soften them up, and the Bio will just deal with the rest. And Flying has to be very careful all the units he's starting to throw away here. Wow, that ultra is going to kill off everything, surprisingly enough. But look at all these units from XPX. That's a pretty scary army at this time in the game here. And this ultras will fall down. Meanwhile, here comes a Zergling run by. I wonder if they know that they're 4th up and going. Oh, but they see that SCV line right for the taking. What are you doing, XPX? Why are you blocking your ramp? What is this? Alright, they're going to try to wait their way up the ramp here. XPS should be wise enough to get all the units there. I don't think this attack onto a force will do anything of a note. Zerkin got mowed down. The Ultras and the Fire got radiated. However, Flying does have a fourth. This is something he can definitely work off himself. He actually got a fourth established. The question is, can he defend it? But, I mean, the bigger question is, what he's going to do about this vessel cloud. That is surprisingly a lot of vessels. If you can't contain this as a Zerg player, you're just going to lose sooner or later. I'm not even sure what's going to happen. You're going to have to get like a fantastic plague on top of these vessels and have like a flock of mutas just to deal with it. But man, this vessel cloud is just humongous. I really don't see how Flying can get back into this. It's going to take a miracle at this point, really, for him. Let's see his tech units. He has more Ultras coming out. Okay, so he has 4 characters on his Ultras, 2 melee attacks. So they're starting to get quite beefier, but the thing is that these Ultras don't have enough Zerglings with them. What he really needs is actually a lot more Zerglings. He just doesn't have the larva nor the economy for it at this point in time. Random Zergling chasing into the middle of the map here. And this is the problem. Oh, nice plague! Woo! What a plague! Alright, that's step number 1 for Flying. Now step number 2 is figure out a way to kill those vessels now that they've been weakened severely. Oh, they're going to see the Eraser, ladies and gentlemen. XP looks like he might go for it. Here comes the Eraser. Ah, the Eraser. The most MLG clutch sport colony timing. Going to kill off both of those vessels. But XPS starting to slowly, surely take over the map. 4 bases for himself here. No sign of a mech switch. Looks like he's going to fully commit to this biomech play. Working his way off of 7 barracks. Meanwhile, Flying going to take the top right for himself. Try to get that 5th gas. Mostly a 5th mineral base. Because he really needs minerals more than he needs gas at this point in time. Ah, Plague! Ah, Plague! Gonna replay the vessels which already been played. And here comes the mutas. Fantastic choice here by Flying. Is he gonna try to dive in? Needs to get 2 more. Oh no, the last 2 vessels will live. But look at this though. Flying did something quite important to note. He actually considerably weakened the vessel count. So him being able to deal with the rest of these battle force should be quite an easier challenge. But still a challenge nevertheless. XPX notices there's no units at this fort. He's going to try to march his way up this ramp. See what he can take. Good target firing by XPX. Going to get the Night Canal first so no reinforcement can hop themselves in. And this force is lost. Flying's going to have to remake it elsewhere. And JJ! XPX takes game number 1. What a game. What a game.